Beat Washington! Beat Washington! Beat Washington!
Well, look at that sight. It's almost as if some master painted that picture. And now quiet in the Rose Bowl, but not for long. University of Washington team out of its dressing room in the tunnel. And what a thrill it must be, Merlin Olsen, for the players themselves to see for the first time the bowl filled. The only time they've seen this prior to today was 100,000 plus empty seats.
Dick, I've got to tell you that they've looked forward to being here. These last few minutes before they come out on the field had to be the longest minutes of some of their lives. Those seconds just crawling by.
The Washington voices are going to be outnumbered by Iowa. The Hawkeye fans have come in droves from the Midwest to cheer the Iowa team, and they're going to get a chance to exercise vocally for the first time in just a moment. For Iowa is ready to come aboard. It's been a long time. Can you believe it? 20 years without a winning season. Their first winning year in 2 decades, and they're in the Rose Bowl. That's Cinderella stuff.
All kinds of black and gold throughout this stand. I think half the state of Iowa is empty today. Either that or locked up in front of television sets. Hayden Fry has been sick. You might notice him looking a little bit poorly. He's been right down in bed for a couple of days. Here they come.
Washington of the Pacific 10, Big Ten's representative, the Iowa Hawkeyes, and we'll have the flip of the coin and the kickoff in just a moment.
We need a high-minded...
Off a great club, Nebraska in the opener, then fell to Iowa State, beat the 6th-ranked UCLA team at that time 20-7, and then went on, had a little slump at midseason, losing to Minnesota and Illinois, finished with 3 consecutive wins over Purdue, Wisconsin, and Michigan State to get the co-championship.
This was supposed to be a down year for the Huskies. In fact, they redshirted most of their junior class, a good many of them, but look what they did during this season. A much faster start than expected. Upset against Arizona State, 26-7. The low point, however, came in that loss UCLA inflicted to them in the Coliseum, 31-0. I'm sure they were all on the ground then, but they came roaring back with 2 big wins, and they're here today.
Don James and Hayden Fry. Deep to return, Aaron Williams and Anthony Allen for the Huskies, and Reggie Roby, the consensus All-American punter. Great leg, will kick it off. Yards deep, and Allen will sit on it. Washington has it at the 20-yard line. The Huskies offense will be guided by sophomore Steve Pelluer at quarterback. He's matured tremendously. Vince Kobe, veteran fullback, and the tailback and leading rusher for the Huskies, Ron Jackson, had over 600 yards on the ground. Wide receiving core is excellent. Anthony Allen, Paul Skansi, already number 2 in Washington history in receptions, and the tight end, a converted fullback, Willie Roseborough. First play from scrimmage. Allen to the left, Skansi to the right. Tough defense. Iowa led the Big Ten in almost every defensive category, and they show why. Against the run, 2 yards for Kobe as he's smothered by that interior defense. Number 74, Jim Pekar, made the first hit. The line, Paul Cody at center. The guards are 57, James Carter, and 62, Andy Breslin. At tackling, they are giants. Eric Moran is 291, and Don Dow, 277.
They're going to have their hands full with a very big and active front wall for Iowa.
Second down, 8. On an option, Pelluer gets only a yard. Number 63, Mark Bortz, spearheaded the charge. And here is the defensive alignment of the Iowa Hawkeyes. Bortz, Dean, Pekar, Webb, Tippett along the front line. Simonson and Cole are the backers. King and Crocker at the corners. Stoops and Frazier at safety. 3rd down and 7. Pelluer in a passing situation. And he's going to throw. Open over the middle of Skansi. And he has a first down at the 33-yard line. Paul Skansi from Gig Harbor, Washington. 88 catches in his 3 years. A junior is already #2 in Washington history. As we identified the play before, there's the defensive alignment: Tippett, Borch, Dean, Kakar, and Webb.
3 of those, of course, all Big Ten players.
Noel Cole, also all Big Ten, one of the linebackers. And Luke King at the corner is all Big Ten. First down play. Pelluer, plenty of time, has a man. Complete to Allen. First down at the 45. So Steve Pelluer, Scott, his older brother in the National Football League, has completed passes of 10 and now 11 yards.
During the season, the Huskies ran the ball 70% of the time. I think they knew they were going to have to throw the football today if they're going to beat this Hawkeye defense. He's thrown twice, completed twice. That was a very fine pass, right on target. Strong young arm from Pelluer.
Allen, who led the Huskies with 29 catches this year, and a player is down at midfield. One of the defensive
Tracy Crocker, I believe, one of the corners.
And they're looking at the right knee. Crocker from Cedar Rapids, Iowa, went to Kennedy High School there, a senior, lettering for the 4th time as a Hawkeye.
Dick, one of the things that Coach James was concerned about, we talked a lot about the weather. If you look at the rest of the defense for the Hawkeyes, and we mentioned it, it's Tracy Crocker who is on the ground over there. But one of the things that Coach James was really concerned about was handling this very strong and aggressive front wall of the Iowa defense. And he said, I want a nice day. He said, we're going to have to throw the football, and if that ball is slick, it would really hurt us. He got his wish there, and they are throwing the football.
It is not Tracy Crocker, and we apologize, but Bobby Stoops, number 41, the injured Iowa player, and able to get off with just some mild assistance. Let's hope the junior from Youngstown, Ohio, will be able to get back into the game. He's one of only 2 juniors. All the rest are seniors on that Iowa defense.
It's still a family affair. His replacement, number 2, Mike Stoops, his brother, will be going in for him.
20-year-old sophomore. First down, Washington at the Husky 45. Jackson with his first carry. He's got speed, and he picks up about 6 yards to the Iowa 49. Finally tackled from behind by Andre Tippett, number 99.
Andre Tippett, great All-American. Mike White, the coach at Indiana, said without question the finest defensive player he's seen since he went to Indiana. Now watch quickly the pursuit that he gets from the inside. Just overwhelms Cookie Jackson, but Jackson doing a good job of getting outside. Not many people picked up that kind of yardage consistently against this Hawkeye defense during the season.
Second down, a short 5. Both receivers to the left. Pelluer goes left and finds Allen for a first down at the Iowa 40. Allen with a 9-yard reception, his second of this game. His brother Patrick is a cornerback at your alma mater, Utah State.
Tracy Crocker giving Allen a little bit of room over there on the right-hand side, and Pelluer taking quick advantage of it. I'm amazed at how many passes Washington is throwing right off the bat here in this ballgame.
First down from the 40. Play action faking, and he does give it off. Good ball handling, but it didn't fool the Iowa defense. Pat Dean, the nose guard, all Big Ten. They call him Gonzo, 6'2" and 260, wearing number 58 with a stop.
Talking to the Washington players, they certainly have a great deal of respect for Dean. They said he doesn't always look like he's going to get into the play, but has a way of slipping off those blocks.
A 1-yard pickup for Ron Jackson at 2nd and 9. This is the 8th play of the opening drive of the game. Going long, he's open. Allen had a couple of steps on the defense, but Pelluer misfired.
You see Pelluer banging himself on the helmet, and you'll see why here as we isolate on the receiver. Allen showing excellent speed, breaks away from the defensive back, and he's all by himself down there. I think Pelluer might have just had a little shot of adrenaline, and that ball just took off on him.
So instead of a touchdown, it's 3rd and 9 Washington at the Iowa 39. Play action and back to the air. The throw to Skansi is incomplete. He was covered. well by that Iowa defense. Todd Simonson, number 37, the linebacker, was with him. So Pelluer with a chance at a touchdown. Could not hit his man wide open, Anthony Allen. And the punting team comes on. The kicker for the Huskies is Jeff Partridge, if that name sounds familiar. Partridge, number 18, has an older brother, Rick, went to Utah and kicked for the National Football League. Here's Partridge. His average 40 yards, as you can see, on the season. Jeff Brown, number 27, is at the Iowa 11. The sidelines, not a very good kick. In fact, they're going to mark it at the 23-yard line. Iowa has the ball for the first time when we return, and the Hawkeye fans already trying to spur on the Big Ten co-champions. 3 minutes have been played in this 68th Rose Bowl. Iowa and Washington, no score.
Here's to good friends. Tonight is kind of special.
So long, fellas.
Hey, Jim, how you doing?
I'm hot, cold, thirsty. Call me a cab.
10 minutes, I'll have you back at the lodge.
I can't make it.
10 minutes, I'll have you back at the lodge drinking a Lowenbrow.
I can make it.
When you want the taste of a truly great American beer, tonight, let it be Lowenbrow.
Where would I be without you guys?
Probably still out there in the snow somewhere.
If there's one tire that dominates America's racetracks, it's Goodyear's Racing Eagles. And now we've tamed our Eagles for the streets as an advanced line of high-performance radios. Eagle NCT, our ultimate performance radio. Eagle GT, already chosen as the optional radio on the 1982 Corvette. Eagle ST, with performance that belies its price. The Eagles, tamed for the streets, but far from tame.
A new Today dawns Monday morning. This is Jane Pauley welcoming Bryant Gumbel and Chris Wallace to Today. We've been waking up America for 30 years on Today.
Happy New Year, everyone, and we want to wish our buddy Bryant Gumbel the best in his new assignment on the Today Show. The Iowa Hawkeyes have the football for the first time at their own 23-yard line after the short kick.
Shotgun. And a shift back to a T.
We're going to see a lot of movement. They use more sets than any team in the Big Ten, maybe anyone in the country. Bohannon from Southern California flipping it out to Bleacher. He's at the 30 and a first down. No, short of the first down at the 31-yard line. Ken Driscoll, number 40, made the tackle. Offensively, it's Gordy Bohannon at quarterback. Phil Bleacher from New Orleans, the leading rusher for the Hawkeyes, and the fullback Norm Granger. The receivers, Jeff Brown with 20 catches, led the Hawks this year. Ivory Webb, he's from Long Beach, California, is the wingback, and the tight end 6'7", John Alt. Second down and a long one. Good interior defense by the Huskies. Fletcher Jenkins, number 65, was there with a shoulder, and it may be a yard gain at best. The offensive line at center is Bill Bailey. The guards for Iowa, Joe Lavellis, and big Ron Hallstrom. He's 286 pounds.
He's pushing 300.
Dave Bayhan and Paul Postler are the tackles. Hallstrom, an interesting story. Really hasn't played much football, and all of a sudden the NFL scouts are drooling over his talent. At nearly 300 pounds, apparently has very quick feet.
He certainly does, and watching him work, I'm sure he's an excellent pro prospect. Dick, one of the things we could talk about here, you talked about the exciting plays we're going to see out of this Iowa offense. They really do throw multiple offense at you. As you see, the ball measured just short, but they throw unbalanced line. They'll throw that shotgun formation at you, and they'll throw a great variety of plays. All kinds of plays. He calls them his exotics. He's going to have some wild ones for us today, I think.
And you saw the defensive sidelines of Washington as they were signaling in the defensive signals. Third, you saw the measurement, inches for Iowa. Number 5, Dave Moritz, is flanked to the right. And he moves Granger up on a wing left. Now back into the backfield. Here's one of those unbalanced lines, and it's Bleacher with a first down to the 35-yard line. Ken Driscoll, number 40, assisted by 30 Chris O'Connor on the tackle.
Bleacher, number 26, 28. That's Granger, number 26, blocking for him. But Blacher showing his quickness as he adjusts to that defense and gets outside. One of the things that makes this Hawkeye defense so tough to unravel is that they rarely show you the same formation twice in a row.
Bohannon starts in the shotgun and shifts into the I formation. First down from the 35. Swings it to Blacher. Good receiver, but well read by the Husky defense, and they drop him for a yard loss back at the 34-yard line. Tony Caldwell and Mark Stewart, the two outside linebackers, made the play.
Let's take a quick look at that Husky defense. Playing so well on that play. Really attacking. You notice that Iowa was trying to sucker them into the kind of defense you'd play against at shotgun. There they are. Stewart, Jenkins, Garnett, Driscoll, and Jerue, the linebackers. Converted nose tackle. They're the defensive backs.
Second down and 11 out of the shotgun. Bohannon to Alt, the tight end, and he's to the 41-yard line. And Chris O'Connor did a tremendous job, and a flag is down. It appears that O'Connor was pushed from behind, knocked down, got up, still made the tackle, and of course now apparently there'll be a penalty against the Hawkeyes. It appeared that Ivory Webb downfield gave him a little shove in the back. Maybe not. According to Bohannon's applause at the news.
No, he's shaking his head now.
It's a great story. Bohannon from Eagle Rock, California, and South Pasadena nearby. There are the officials today: McVeigh, Brazel, Hulls, Sale, White, and Wilson. Now we have a microphone on our referee today, but that was the silent approach. Illegal use of the hands, and it did appear that O'Connor, who eventually made the tackle, did get a shove from behind as Alt made the reception.
Of course, the defenders get some protection when that ball is as soon as the ball is in the air. You've got to protect those offensive receivers, but the defenders have the rights, have some rights downfield too. Thank goodness.
So the mark off against Iowa is a big one. Taking the ball back to the 20-yard line.
Pass interference, offense, loss of down, third down.
Boy, that's really a rough one, and I frankly thought that the push came after the pass was complete, that it was not pass interference. The Cotton Bowl is a final, and the Longhorns of Texas upset Paul Bear Bryant's Alabama team 14-12, although that was rated close. And another one, mild underdog Penn State, and they totally defeated the University of Southern California 26-10. Some now are wondering if that's John Robinson's last game at USC. Whoa. Nothing there for Phil Blacher as he tries the center of the line. Mark Stewart, number 38 from San Jose, California, made the tackle, and it's fourth down for Iowa.
A look from the end zone. Bohannon will just hand the ball into Blacher's stomach. A little quick draw play, but watch the reactions of Mark Stewart. Tremendous player. 4.55 speed in a 40. Bench presses well over 400 pounds. Marvelous young athlete.
And an experienced junior, 3-year letterman. While Iowa will graduate 9 of the 11 starters this year on defense, only 2 will be lost from this experienced Washington defense. 10 men on the line of scrimmage. Reggie Roby, the leading punter in the nation, gets it away. And he drills one. Will it come down? Yes, to Horton at the 23. 30, 40, 50. One man to beat Roby. 35. He's all the way to the 29-yard line.
Dave Mahan there to make the tackle, Dick, and that's one thing that Coach James had talked about earlier this week. He said, if this young man outkicks his coverage, we've got a chance to bring it back. And Horton does exactly that right here. Time to set up that picket wall, and good blocking by the punt return team for Washington. And I think maybe if he'd have steamed down the sideline, he'd have gotten about 10 more yards before they'd have caught up with him.
Roby did slow him up and save a touchdown. Horton, who had a 49-yard punt return in last year's Rose Bowl, has a 48-yarder today after a 56-yard kick by Roby. First down, Washington at the 29. Both wide receivers to the right of quarterback Pelluer. They picked up the blitz. Pelluer is smothered at the 33, a loss of 4. Pat Dean, the senior from West Islip, New York, made the tackle, assisted by Andre Tippett.
Brad Webb also over in on that play. And one of the differences between these two quarterbacks, Bohannon, an excellent runner. Pelluer not very good at running the football. Watch him here. He's going to be rushed. Andre Tippett coming from the left-hand side, just blowing through the protection. He decides he's going to have to run the football, and he just gets swarmed under on the right-hand side. Pat Dean coming out to make the first hit on him.
Second down, 14. Pelluer, good protection. Overshoots his mark, and it was almost intercepted. Intended for number 25, Ron Jackson, and almost into the arms of Tracy Crocker. 3rd and 14 for the Huskies. We played about 6 minutes of this first quarter. And going to school, the University of Washington defense.
One of the things you have to do on the sideline is get together and find out what the other team is doing. And obviously they're concerned about the unbalanced line and the shifting that's taking place for Iowa.
Iowa looking for the pass, 3rd and long.
Screen. Oh!
Incomplete. Intended for Vince Kobe, and it was set up very well. He had a couple of blockers out there, but a little off the fingertips. Pelluer misfires, and here comes Chuck Nelson. Just as Roby has been an All-American, a great punter, leading everything, almost a 50-yard average this year. Chuck Nelson, an academic All-American and All-Pac-10 kicker, 29 for 29 point-after touchdowns and 16 for 20 field goal tries. This would be a little over 50 yards. He's kicked 51 yards a couple of times this year. Pelluer to hold. Is it long enough? No. And it's a little bit to the left. So Chuck Nelson flirts with a 50-yard three-pointer. But the Hawkeyes come out of it with it still being scoreless.
An excellent kick, and just by a whisker, it dropped on the far side of that goalpost.
Timeout. 8 minutes and 17 seconds remaining in the first quarter. The Hawkeyes survive the long punt return by Horton. No score.
Telemarketing is a powerful new way to do business. You combine personal contact with marketing techniques in a special telemarketing center to make more profit. Through the Bell Network, the world's most advanced information management system, you sell your marginal accounts, qualify sales leads, service customers, run direct response promotion. Bell has the knowledge. We'll show you how to manage it. In today's Army, when artillery goes to the field, so does high technology.
Be all that you can be. Keep on reaching. Keep on growing.
Computers, laser-guided missile systems, and teamwork honed to a split-second response. And the Army gives you this kind of training with just a 2-year enlistment.
'Cause we need you in the Army.
Dick, at the beginning of this new year, I'd like to congratulate you. Not only were you judged by your peers to be the finest play-by-play man in the country, but you just were given the Emmy as the finest play-by-play man, and all I can say is it's about time. I believed that for a long time.
You know what pleases me most of all about it all was that the people with whom we worked were as happy about it as I was, and of course,
that's great.
We are all part of a team.
Well deserved. Nice to be having a day when we can enjoy such an outstanding football game, too.
You bet. The weatherman has cooperated perfectly. Bohannon, little fake reverse. Now looking for the bomb. It's not there. Running room at the 40 and tackled at the 44. That should be good enough for a first down. 11 yards. to match the number on Bohannon's jersey. Ken Driscoll made the tackle. Boy, you talk about razzle-dazzle, Merlin. That had everything.
They wanted to get it deep, though. Bohannon making the little fake here and then looking deep. Good reaction by the defense, but he tucks it down and runs with the football. Bohannon, the third leading rusher on this Hawkeye team, shows you right there why he has been able to be such an effective quarterback during the season.
Merlin, during the course of the year, Iowa outscored their opponents 100 points to 20 in the first quarter. You can see why now. It has to be a tough assignment for defense to adjust to all those various sets. Blacher to midfield. A good gain on first down of about 5. O'Connor made the stop.
Dick, I asked Caden Fry, I said, what are you going to be running out there? And he said, I don't know. He said, we brought the whole arsenal. He said, it's all ready. And what they're going to try and do is test Washington with all the formations that they can figure out. When they find Washington adjusting poorly to a formation, they'll come back and attack them.
He describes that as his scratch where it itches offense.
Scratch where it itches. What he's saying is he'll take what they give him.
Graduate of Baylor in '51, from Odessa, Texas, in his third year now at Iowa, Hayden Fry. Second down and 5. Bohannon, option, and he throws that one away. Closest man to the ball in an Iowa uniform was Ivory Webb.
Watch Hayden Fry now. He's going to give the play to Dave Moritz. Now, the men carrying the play in have to repeat it back to him. Watch Moritz now. He'll repeat the play back to Hayden Fry. Ooh, not time for it. He took off on that one. One of the problems they have is that they're concerned about getting called for taking too much time. So I think he just told him to go on that one. But usually they repeat the play back to make sure they've got it right.
Moritz, they like to go him in short yardage. He runs excellent patterns, a finesse receiver. They're almost out of time. 3rd and 5 at the 50. Now the shotgun. Complete to Brown, but no gain. Read well by that Husky defense. Fletcher Jenkins, second-team All-American, and Mark Stewart with another big defensive play, and Iowa will have to give up the ball.
Stewart certainly showing us why he has such a strong following in the Northwest. Outstanding plays on the last 2.
He credits an inspiration to his stepfather, who has spent 10 years on a kidney machine. When he says he starts to feel sorry for himself, just thinks of his stepdad. Now, one of the reasons why Roby averaged nearly 50 yards a punt is this situation. He doesn't kick from just the 50. Tom Nickel, and they call this a short kick. If he kicks it to the goal line, it's 50 yards.
I think it is short for Roby.
And he pooches it. And it takes a good Iowa bounce to about the 19-yard line. That's where they'll mark it. So Roby never gets a chance to kick one short. Therefore, his range always will be long. Greg Guy would like an opportunity like that. No score. Midway first quarter.
We found out the hard way. You stand still in the car business, you get run over. So ever since, Chrysler's been moving ahead. For 1982, we're the only company introducing a full line of cars that combine front-wheel drive, high mileage, and luxury. Our Chrysler LeBaron series. Nobody has anything like them. Not Ford, not GM, not the imports. I challenge you to compare their quality and technology to anything that comes out of Germany or Japan. There's this sporty coupe that's priced so that you won't go into sticker shock. And a four-door sedan that offers impressive gas mileage and 6-passenger room. This handsome town and country, this dazzling convertible that puts a little fun back into driving. No cars are perfect, but these come pretty close. Drive them. See for yourself how quiet and smooth they are. If you don't agree they're the best Chrysler's ever made, the very best America has to offer at a sensible price, then I'm in the wrong business. Oh, one more thing. If you can find a better car, buy it.
Fame is beauty. Fame is coming Thursday.
The San Gabriel Mountains. Yesterday at the big luncheon, the Kiwanis luncheon, over 4,000 people, the invocation was given, and the pastor said, now I want you all to listen carefully because he's in charge of sunshine.
He's in charge of the weather.
And at that time, the forecast was 80% chance of rain, but it is clear, thank goodness. Ooh. Ron Jackson may have to clear some cobwebs after that hit. He's out to the 21, and Todd Simonson, a 235-pound linebacker from Racine, Wisconsin, made the hit.
Great job on the inside. The nose tackle right there. Dean is quick over to force the play, but it was Todd Simonson who really made the smash here. Watch Simonson hit him straight up right there. A very emotional and very aggressive player. That whole front wall for Iowa. Quick, strong, they'll get after you.
Call it a gain of a little over a yard. Call it second and a long 8. Swing it to Jackson, incomplete, and Pelluer was getting dumped as he threw the ball and was off target again. Don James, and happy birthday to the coach of the Huskies. He was 49 years old yesterday. He's been honored with a new extension of his contract as Hayden Fry, his counterpart with Iowa, has been rewarded for his highly successful year.
That was Ray Dorr signaling in the plays there. They're called upstairs by Bob Stuhl, who's the offensive coordinator. But they all go through the headset of the head man. If he wants to change them, he does.
Pelluer to throw again. Has a man, and it's complete to Allen at the 40-yard line. First down. From Garfield High School in Seattle, Washington, Anthony Allen has his third catch.
Watch the move that Allen puts on right here. Little move to the inside. Freezes King, one of the better defensive backs in the country, gets outside for the reception. Again, a quick look. Actually, Pelluer looked away on that play. Excellent finesse by the quarterback.
First down shy of the 40, and Jackson finding again that it's tough to earn yardage on the ground up the middle of that Iowa defense. Jim Picard from Cudahy, Wisconsin, a 6'4", 265-pound senior, made the tackle.
Again, you're watching Ray Dorr signaling those plays. Very quick to get those plays from the sideline via signal. A lot safer method in terms of fighting the clock than you get when you're trying to send them in by messenger.
Second down, 8. Almost intercepted. It was intended for number 80, Danny Green, but off target and right into the teeth of a couple of black jerseys. Bobby Stoops back in the game. We're pleased to report number 41, closest to the ball for the Hawkeyes.
Green alternating in there with Skansi. You're going to see a lot of players on the field for Washington, for both teams actually. It's amazing to me the quality of this young team. When, as we said earlier, I think Coach James said that next year's our year, and he put some of his best players on the shelf. They'll be coming back as redshirt seniors next season.
Third down, 8. Good protection down the middle to Allen, and it is not intercepted. He caught it out of bounds. Out of bounds. Jim Frazier collecting that tip, but it carried him out of the field of play. So Steve Pelluer is 4 for 11 passing, and Iowa will get the ball.
Same play they hit on a moment ago. They came right back to it. King wasn't fooled on this one. He was up to bat the ball up, and had there been a couple of more yards on that sideline, it would have been intercepted.
Pelluer, the 6'3" sophomore quarterback, reacting to the fact that that one didn't come up a completion.
He's a little bit worried that it might have come up in the hands of someone else there at the end of that too, Dick.
Partridge to kick, and he gets off a short one. It might have been partially blocked. No, it was not blocked, and the flag goes down. Ball goes out of bounds at the 27, and we're going to have a roughing the kicker penalty on Lou King as he hit Partridge. King, who blocked 2 punts this season.
Partridge still on the ground as the trainers come out. Let's hope he is not seriously injured.
That wasn't an acting job by Partridge. He took a good lick.
Certainly did.
Replaces Rich Camarillo, who has found a punting home in the National Football League.
Take a look at it yourselves. The ball cleanly off. King in too deep. Missed the block point. Actually took the leg of the kicker, but he's walking well happily. And you see the mark off. They've marked the ball 15 yards down the field.
Partridge from nearby Tustin, California, went to Golden West Junior College. One of the few junior college recruits by Don James.
Don James mostly looking for freshmen and going heavily for all of the boys he can get out of his home state of Washington.
15-yard penalty. First down at the 43. Pelluer, play action. And he completes it to his tight end, Roseboro, who steps out of bounds at the 36 of Iowa. Roseboro, who replaces David Bale, who was the starter in the Rose Bowl last year. Todd Simonson made the tackle for Iowa.
An indication of the coaching wisdom of Don James and a fine staff. As I said earlier, they have run the ball 70% of the time during the season. I'll bet their stats right now are better than 50%, or at least 50% passing during the first part of this game. They're doing what they have to do to move the ball.
The give is to number 28, Jacque Robinson, into the ball game for the first time. He's from San Jose, one of the few freshmen to see a lot of playing duty, and he really sparked the Huskies in their final 2 games of the year. Came in the middle of the USC game, picked up 42 yards, and then gained 93 on the ground in the finale against Washington State. Robinson is 5'11" and 204 with sprinter speed. First down. Huskies at the Iowa 32.
12 passes and 8 runs so far in the game, Dick.
Pelluer, as Don James figured, to go against that tough defense of Iowa, having to take to the air. It's Kobe up the middle, inside the 30 to about the 28-yard line. Mel Cole, all Big Ten linebacker from Elgin, Illinois, number 31, made the stop.
What Don James would like to do with his offense is to hit Iowa deep, force them to start playing a little bit looser, and then they'll be able to attack them on the ground.
This Iowa team allowed an average of only 87 yards per game rushing. 2nd and 6. Good blocking. Oh, just enough of a piece of the receiver Aaron Williams, Tracy Crocker, to break up the pass when it appeared that Williams was wide open. Had he hung onto the ball, he had a touchdown.
Watching Williams work in practice, young man has great quickness and agility, does a good job of getting by the defenders here. Bachman, number 46, comes right back up. Had it in his hands, didn't he?
And Crocker did not have a piece of the play. From our angle, I thought he had made some contact, but did not. Williams dropped a couple of key tries in last year's Rose Bowl. So 3rd and 6 in play action, and Pelluer in trouble. Pat Dean. That may take Washington out of field goal range. A 12-yard deficit. Pelluer.
Pat Dean coming aggressively, getting good pressure. Had pressured early, but he gets all the way in on this one. Gets a hold of the quarterback and drops him.
Partridge at his own 46. Goes out of bounds at the 22, so Partridge has not had much success punting. Best thing that's happened to Washington in kick formation was a 15-yard penalty. That one was good for only 18 yards.
Dick, in talking to Don James about the game last year here in the Rose Bowl, he felt that the missed opportunities in the first half of that game cost them a chance to win the ball game. They've now missed 3 scoring opportunities here in the first quarter of this game. You've got to wonder how many more they'll get. If they don't start capitalizing pretty soon, they may run out of them.
That's right. Pelluer missing when he had Williams wide open for or Allen wide open for a touchdown, and the long field goal just off to the left. And now on this occasion, the sack took Washington out of field goal range. Nothing much for Blacher, a senior from New Orleans, Louisiana, as he gets out near the 25-yard line. Jenkins and Jerue, the 2 all Pac-10 performers on that Husky defense, collaborated on the stop. I want to commend Jerue as well as a member of the academic All-American team, economics major at Washington. The only senior defensive starter along with Jenkins. All the rest of these Huskies will be back next year. 2nd and 8.
Unbalanced left.
Strobel in motion. Quick toss to Brown. Great block. He's at the 30. He's to the 39 before Leapart can knock him out of bounds.
Ranger, number 26, the man who just leveled the defensive back to make it possible for Jeff Brown to make that fine run. He really knocks it. Watch it for yourselves. You'll see it on the outside now. Rangers, number 26, right at the bottom of your picture. Watch the block. If we can see it, you'll probably just see the man knocked down. Look at that. It just leveled him. Stapleton, number 11, the defensive back that was leveled on the play. Big play for Iowa.
Ranger from Newark, New Jersey, helping Brown to a first down at the Iowa 38. Hawkeyes not been here for a while. Forrest Evashevsky brought him here twice, 57 and 59. Both impressive victories for Iowa. Bohannon, receivers covered. And he smothered in a sea of Husky jerseys at the 41-yard line. Jerue was there first, the senior from Mercer Island, Washington.
Dick, one of the unusual things that you'll see for the Iowa offense, their tight ends stand up on the line of scrimmage. And I asked Coach Fry why he did that. He said, well, we had to move a wide receiver in to play tight end. He couldn't see the defenses developing. We let him stand up. And it worked so well that we've done it since that time with our big tight ends.
Let's see. See the tight end on the far side? You don't see that on many teams. And he says he still can get down and block. Here's Blacher, tripped up from behind. 61, Ray Kadich. Great defense by Kadich of Spokane. Went to Lewis and Clark High School. Submarined, got a piece of the ball carrier.
Right at the end of that run, he grabbed onto the back of the pants of Hallstrom, his big guard. He said, pull me along here, big fella. No, he didn't get much of it, though.
If Kadich's name sounds familiar, it may be recalled his brother Bobby. He's playing with the Utah Jazz, 6'9" frontliner. Did his studies at Auburn. Third and long out of the shotgun, Bohannon. That's a draw.
Quarterback draw.
Fletcher missed him. Bohannon cartwheeled down at the 46-yard line by Jerue, short of a first down. Fletcher got enough of Bohannon to slow him down and deny the first down.
One of the toughest plays in football, because as a defense, you're trained to watch that quarterback. When you figure he's gone past all of the potential runners, he's purely a passer. Not so here with Bohannon. Just takes a couple of steps back and away he goes, running that football.
So they mark it at the 45-yard line, where it's 4th down and 3. And Roby will kick this time, delivering from around the 35. Horton at the 10 of Washington. Boy, he has thunder in that foot. Horton at his 8-yard line. 20, 25, 30. A marvelous run by Horton. 42-yard punt and a 27-yard return by Ray Horton. He's been the offensive star of this first quarter, and that's the end of the first 15 minutes.
Every time the Connecticut State Police pulls someone over, a Honeywell computer goes to work. A Honeywell computer displays police reports on the car and warns if the driver is considered dangerous.
Affirmative. That's our man.
Roger.
License and registration, please. Will you follow me, please, Mr. Johnson? Your wife just had a baby girl.
Honeywell, you should see what we do with computers.
When I take my friends out for a beer, they have 2 requests. Nice, lonely, out-of-the-way place, and a light beer from Miller. Light's got 1/3 less calories than their regular beer, and it's less filling, in case they have to leave in a hurry. But mainly, they love the way it tastes. Hey, Frankie. Yep? You know doing a light beer commercial like this could make you guys famous?
Louis, get the film.
Light beer from Miller. Everything you always wanted in a beer, and less.
For Johnson's Baby Shampoo, Archie Manning and Steve Toll.
Nothing gets your hair dirtier than offensive football.
Except defensive football.
So I have to shampoo every day.
Me too, but it worries me.
Then don't use anything harsh. Use Johnson's. It's gentle enough to use every day.
Even on defense?
You bet. That no more tears means gentle. Johnson's won't dry out your hair.
Yeah, leaves it clean, thick, and healthy looking.
Johnson's Baby Shampoo.
From Johnson & Johnson.
Gentle enough to use every day.
Especially on defense.
They say it was a day just like this in 1902, the first Rose Bowl, when Michigan beat Stanford 49-0. Glorious 65-degree day after a night of healthy rain in Southern California. No score. We open the second quarter. Washington from its 35, and that is a long gain against that Iowa defense. And Jacque Robinson picks up 4.
Leading tackler on this Iowa team, Mel Cole. one of the outstanding defensive players. Certainly one of the reasons that they have been so tough to run on this year. That was Jim Picard, in '74, the man who was there to help him make that stop.
You saw the first quarter statistics, basically even. The 2 punt returns by Horton. The difference for Washington, but they could not capitalize. Again up the middle to Robinson to the 43-yard line. That'll be short of a first down by a couple.
Quick look, number 31, Cole, right in the middle of your screen there, fighting off the blockers and getting a good shot on the runner there. Cole from Elgin, Illinois. As we said, an all Big Ten performer, and one of the reasons. Well,
let's hope that's not symbolic.
Let's hope that doesn't mean anything.
The Husky mascot taking a little breather.
Believe me, the Huskies can't afford to go to sleep out here today.
Into the middle, a second effort lunge close to the 45 by Robinson, but didn't appear he made it. Let's see what progress they allow. They had him stopped at the 44.
In a game where inches are so crucial, it's always been interesting to me that spots are made visually and often very unfairly by the officials. They try and do their best, but it's very difficult.
Close enough for a measurement. They see James Carter, 57, the offensive captain, requesting that measurement.
Carter here for his third Rose Bowl. Redshirt senior. He's made all 3 trips with the Washington Huskies,
including that exciting win over Michigan 4 years ago. It is enough, and credit the youngster Robinson for that lunge on second effort to pick up the first down. The official souvenir program for the '82 Rose Bowl game can be ordered by mail again this year. This beautiful collector's edition contains over 140 pages of in-depth scouting reports, special features on past Rose Bowl games, a section on the record holders, and a review of the past season in words and photos. And you saw that address, Rose Bowl program, Post Office Box 827, San Francisco. Pelluer on first down. Open is Allen again. And he is to the Iowa 34-yard line with his 4th reception of this first half.
Pelluer finding some room between the linebackers and the secondary of that Iowa defense, able to take advantage of it. Quite a gap as he throws over the linebackers and in front of the defenders, just barely delivering that ball in time. You see how much room that Allen had down there. You'll see some adjustments rapidly for this Iowa team, I'm sure.
21 yards on the play from the Iowa 34. And Kobe gets inside the 30. Close to 5 yards for Kobe, the senior from Wilson High School in Tacoma, Washington. Only gained actually 162 yards and then had some losses this year, so he finishes at a 3.9 average and 1 touchdown. His best game only 42 yards. He's primarily a blocker. No score early in the second quarter. 12:45 remaining before halftime, and it's Robinson inside the 25 to the 23, and that looks good enough for a first down. Pat Dean made the tackle. This could be the story of the game. Jacque Robinson only 177 yards rushing, but again, he got almost all of those yards in the last game and a half of the year, as finally getting the chance from Don James. And Robinson, who had great talent, taking over from Jackson and Hines and Robinson and the rest of those at tailback for Washington.
Again, it's Robinson to the 10. He's to the 6-yard line. First and goal, Washington.
Don James indicated he was going to play a lot of backs, find out who had the hot hand. Well, there he is right there. Number 28, Jacque Robinson. And does he have a hot hand? Very quick acceleration. Good job of picking the hole and tremendous power.
Robinson again, and he's to the 5-yard line. And that Iowa defense covers him well. Robinson now 7 carries for 37 yards. Went to San Jose High School. He was an all-league catcher and first baseman in baseball in high school and scored 40 points once in a high school basketball game. So he was a well-rounded athlete.
Let's see if the Huskies can take advantage of this opportunity. They've squandered several. They need to get it into the end zone.
Whoops, that's always a bad sign. Kobe having to ask his quarterback something and then saying something to Robinson.
They're going to be running short of time. They get it off.
Kobe to the 2. Small hole wedged open by the
Center Cody and the left guard Carter. In plays thus far, Iowa 15, Washington 32. But no score on the board. As you see, Kobe up the middle. It's 3rd and goal from inside the 2. Kobe. Is he in?
No, he's short. They stacked him up, Dick.
Quarterback Steve Pelluer having to battle that noisy group of Iowa fans, and there are thousands down at that end of the end zone.
Last year in that game against Michigan, Don James had the same kind of call. 4th down on the yard to go. He went for it and missed the touchdown. He's going for it again here.
It was the turning point of the game, no question, last year. And so there's been a year to think about this situation, and James goes for it again. Listen to this crowd. Robinson, touchdown. A smaller back might have gone down, but Robinson's 30 pounds heavier than the other men who play tailback. Broke that charge defensively at about the 4 and has the game's first score.
You saw a very smiling face on Don James on the sideline. At the same time, I have to congratulate him for having the courage to make that kind of call. It pays off here. Robinson bursting into the end zone.
6-0 Washington, a 66-yard drive in 11 plays. They consume nearly 5 minutes of this second quarter. And the result the same from every angle. And we've got them all for you today. T, we're pleased you joined us for what is a spectacular day on NBC Sports, the Fiesta Bowl. Charlie and Lenny bringing you that game as Penn State defeated the University of Southern California. And impressive it was, that victory. 26-10. Rose Bowl Classic, and then on to the Orange Bowl, perhaps for the national championship, Clemson and Nebraska. Nelson to kick out of Pelluer's hole. And the Huskies had the extra point. 10 minutes and 9 seconds left in the first half of this 68th Rose Bowl game. And the underdog Washington Huskies have the first score, leading Iowa 7-0. Washington 7, Iowa 0. The Hawkeyes to return. Granger and Buggs are deep. Iowa led the nation in kickoff returns this year. Don James plays his first ace. 4th and goal at the 1, and the freshman Robinson, who got the Huskies to the goal line, scored the touchdown. Nelson to kick it off.
Ball fell off the tee. There he goes. Going back in.
And it's still a granddaddy. You know, there are a lot of bowl games, and some of the critics, I guess some of those here in Southern California especially, were accustomed to SC and UCLA, and some of the Big Ten too. The Michigan-Ohio State crew thought this would be a lesser game. If you were here today, all of that criticism goes far away. This spectacle lives on as the game. Norm Granger, who ran one back 99 yards for a touchdown this year. That was against Indiana. Takes it out to the 26 on a 22-yard return. Nelson, the kicker, good job.
Excellent coverage, too, by the Washington Huskies. Granger averaged 41 yards per kickoff return during the season. That's incredible. And of course, his team led the nation in kickoff returns.
New quarterback for Iowa, number 12, Pete Gales, a senior from Patterson, New Jersey. He started this year as the quarterback for Iowa, was hurt in the UCLA game. Bohannon replaced him, and by the time Gales was healthy, now they're both in there, and Gales in motion. They got 2 quarterbacks in there, and look at the
pass, deep pass.
And it is caught at the 45-yard line. Jeff Brown with a reception. So they slipped that second quarterback in, sent him in motion, and eventually let him throw the ball.
But we told you you'd see some exotic plays from this Hawkeye team. There's the first of the outstanding ones right there. A zipping pass and a good job of getting back to the football by Brown. Just a little motion pattern there by the quarterback. Comes back, becomes a quarterback again. It's interesting play. Got to drive you crazy if you're trying to defense him.
He's out of the game, and Bohannon continues as the quarterback. Good hole for Eddie Phillips, but it closes in a hurry only because Mark Jerue made a solid hit at the 48-yard line. 2nd down and 7. Hayden Fry calls him calls those plays his exotic repertoire. What does Don James call those
Don
plays?
James has some of the same kind of plays. They're his dirty dozen, but he does not use them like Fry does. He'll only use them if he has to use them. Fry incorporates them throughout his game plan.
He said, I've always had to work with a bit lesser talent, and he said, that's the way that I've created an equalizer. You never know what I'm going to do or my teams.
He's right about that.
Good hole, and it's Granger to the Washington 48-yard line before Jerue, again helped by Driscoll, can make the tackle. It'll be 3rd down and about 3.
Kenny Driscoll, number 40, outstanding linebacker, very quick, working right there on Postler, fighting to get to that ball carrier. But as you said, Dick, not until he'd gotten pretty good yardage on the play.
3rd down between 2 and 3. Tight end Hufford shifting to the left side. Bohannon could have been a draw. He's got a 1st down at the 41. He looked to the right at Moritz and then tucked it away for 1st down yardage. 7 yards in the play.
That may well have been a scramble, but you never know with Iowa. That might have been a design play. Bohannon, the kind of quarterback that you can use effectively as a runner, and you can do that if you have a number 2 quarterback who's good enough to step right in and play. If you only have one quarterback, you'd worry about injury.
Iowa on a march. 8:03 left in the 1st half. Webb to the left.
Shotgun on the 1st down. That's a design run again, yeah.
Ooh. And he fumbles, and Washington recovers. Driscoll made the hit, and number 48 recovered the ball for Tony Caldwell for the Huskies.
We talked about Driscoll earlier, the leading tackler for this Husky team. He gets over. It looked to me like Bohannon might have been looking outside like he wanted to pitch that football. Knocked away from him, and Caldwell makes the recovery, number 48.
The first turnover of the game goes to Washington. The Huskies, with 7:45 left in the 1st half, have the ball.
How do you get good gas mileage?
Citation and Arriva.
Toyota and Arriva.
Lynx and Arriva.
Datsun and Arriva.
Reliant and Arriva.
Goodyear Arriva, an all-season radio. A steel-belted radio designed for traction and to help you save gas. Even its footprint tells you it's different. How do you get good gas mileage?
Arriva, and 55 miles an hour.
Arriva, only from Goodyear.
Hey, Gail, how's the trip? Great, very good. Good. Oh, no, not again. Wait, my stroke. Hey, look at that guy. Wait. Wow, he caught that jet. Hey, it's Gail Sayers. Boy, Mr. Sayers, you were really flying.
Had to. Nobody's taking off with my Stros.
From one beer lover to another Stros.
There's a message, Merlin Olsen, that you know well.
Stay in the face of the quarterbacks. Get Paul telling him to get those hands right up in that quarterback's face and don't let him see where his receivers are.
It's a Happy New Year to you all as we pause briefly for station identification. This is the NBC Television Network.
Go for it. WDIV Detroit.
The Huskies recovering Bohannon's fumble at the Washington 46. This is Robinson. And he gets only about 3 before Mel Cole makes the tackle. He's 6'2" and 230 pounds. They call him Reverend Mel. He makes an inspirational pep talk to his teammates every week. He refers to the stadium in his pep talks as the house. And today he says we're playing in the big house.
And it's a full house.
Can't one up you on that. When I ran out of houses, I have to ask Mel Cole for the rest. Dick Kendrick, Merlin Olsen at the Rose Bowl in Pasadena. Washington leads 7-0. Freshman Jacque Robinson has been the surprise. Flags are down. May have a holding call. Pelluer carries it out, and it's intercepted by Frazier.
He could go all the way. And Pelluer makes the tackle at the 34-yard line. And that penalty is against Washington. It's Iowa's ball.
The fate of an inexperienced quarterback, Dick. Should never have thrown that football. Should have taken his lumps. He'll learn that. He's a youngster. Don James will tell him when he gets over there, believe me. Let's watch the play again. You may see the holding, which probably took place right up front here. There it is, right there. Grabbing on the jersey, coming to the side. Now watch the throw down the sideline. Threw right into the middle of the traffic. Never should have unloaded that football.
Frazier, who had 3 interceptions this year, Iowa's ball, as they'll decline the hold. You saw Gardenhire, the left tackle of Washington, holding on to the car number 74, and what gives you away is when that jersey starts to stretch out a couple of yards.
Bill Brazier's the defensive coordinator for those Hawkeyes. He's got to be pleased with his troops after giving up some yardage early. They come right back with a big turnover, put the Iowa offense in good field position. Now let's see if they can capitalize on this opportunity.
Washington recovered the fumble of Bohannon at the 46-yard line. The interception, Iowa back to the 33, so they gained 13 yards on the turnover exchange. 7-0. The Huskies lead. Less than 7 minutes left in the first half. That's Webb in motion. The fullback, Granger, tripped up after 5, and a flag goes down. The linesman on the far side. Lynn Metzen, number 68 from Vista, California, plays the piano, an avid reader, made the tackle for Washington.
Scott Garnett had started at nose tackle. He's out of the ball game now. Metzen moved to that position after injuries had decimated these nose tackles, or nose guards as they're called in the college game. Going to march this penalty off against the Hawks. Illegal motion. That's one of the problems you face when you have a multiple offense and everyone's moving. You tend to make some big mistakes.
Illegal motion. Offense.
Third penalty against Iowa, 35 yards.
There you see that stand-up tight end talked about earlier, and he just wobbled off the line a little bit early. You can't do that. You've got to stay and wait for the call.
First down and 15 for Iowa, trailing 7-0. They're at the Washington 38. Bohannon looking long. Double Brown, almost intercepted by Horton, who played it very well. Horton, a junior, had 2 interceptions this year and 6 in his career. He's the man with those 2 punt returns that really has sparked the Huskies.
With the exception of Leaphart in that secondary, this is the same secondary that played here last year in the Rose Bowl. Now watch the great play by number 10, Horton. Knocks that ball away, gets up off the ground. Brown knows that you can't cover a man any tighter than that. Beautifully done. That was a double pump, too. A little bit of out and up.
And beautiful coverage. Larry Cirillo, our producer, and the old pro, Harry Coyle, another of his many Rose Bowls here in Pasadena today, our director. Bohannon going long, and it's intercepted by number 23, Vince Newsom. A flag is down. We'll see against whom. It's at the line of scrimmage.
We may have the same situation in reverse, holding penalty against the Hawks, but if they refuse it, and it is against the Hawks, they're waving it. Ball will turn over.
So Vince Newsom, who had 1 interception this year, undoubtedly Washington will decline the penalty and take the ball at the 9-yard line. Hayden Fry, his shoulders slump a little bit.
Fry, as we said, has been ill. Spent the last 2 days in bed, unable to be with his team, and certainly has to be feeling a little more ill after that particular play.
Moritz never had a chance to catch the ball. It wasn't even in his vicinity. Newsom was the only eligible man to go after it, and he made a fine catch. So from the 9-yard line, Washington with the ball, 6:20 left in the half. Reminder, at halftime we'll have a preview of what should be a most exciting game at the Orange Bowl. Number 1 Clemson against Nebraska's Cornhuskers. And Nebraska thinks if they beat Clemson, they should be the number 1 team in the nation. Of course, Clemson wins it. Who's going to argue with the Tigers?
That's what this day is all about. Bright little eyes like that. Families together.
From the parade right through the game. Is there a better day?
No, I don't think so.
In tight, and a pretty good surge by that offensive line for Washington. Didn't appear to be anything there, and Robinson picked up about 3. Mark Bortz, Jr. from Pardeeville, Wisconsin, town of 1,500, found his way to Iowa City, where he's an all Big Ten defensive lineman. Second down, 7 for Washington. Robinson now the leading rusher in the game with 43 yards. That's about half of what Iowa normally allows an entire team for a game. Good haul for Robinson. Ooh, and he was 1 man away from a little extracurricular activity. 93, Brian Stratus.
Stratus getting a few whacks in there. This has got to be an emotional game as you watch Don James on the sideline. James, his coaching style rather interesting. Unlike Hayden Fry, who calls all the plays, James prefers to let his assistants call the plays. He says he coaches the coaches. And his strength, he says, is in administration, not innovation.
From the 17, 3rd down and 2. And quarterback Pelluer didn't want to take any chances and spends a timeout. 5 minutes and 5 seconds left in the first half. When we come back, it'll be 3rd down and 2 Washington at the Huskies 17-yard line. Washington leads by a touchdown.
Of all the ways that we can fly, of all the highways through the sky, of all the wings that greet the sun, Eastern is your number 1. We're Eastern, America's favorite way to fly.
For the 3rd year in a row, more passengers have flown Eastern than any other airline in the free world. If you've helped make us America's favorite way to fly, we thank you. If you haven't flown Eastern recently, give us a try. We'll show you we really do earn our wings every day.
The pride of Eastern shining through, we earn our wings by serving you. We're Eastern, America's favorite way to fly. Come fly with Eastern.
Jumping January 9th, college basketball returns when the unstoppable giant Ralph Sampson leads the Virginia Cavaliers against the quick and slick #1 North Carolina Tar Heels. Right here on the home of great college basketball, NBC Sports.
That should be a great basketball game a week from Saturday. You know, last year when I wished you happy New Year, start 1981, Father Murphy was way off in the distance someplace. Been a terrific year for you.
Just an idea, but certainly has become a very exciting reality. Do you have any confessions you want to make to me today?
You've heard all mine, and you haven't helped me a bit.
No, that's been a good year. We hope you'll be tuned in with us on Tuesday nights to watch Father Murphy.
And the ratings have been sensational, and continued success to Merlin Olsen Tuesday nights. Back to the action, and Washington has a first down. It's out to the 22-yard line. Blast Jacque Robinson. So the freshman testing that senior-dominated Iowa defense and passing some of those tests rather grandly.
I asked Don James, I said, if you could go back and gather up a couple of your players from past teams, who would they be? And he said, well, I won't give you names, but the first one I would look for would be a great running back. Looks like he's found one right on his own roster.
First down at the 22. Pelluer to throw from his own end. Almost intercepted. It goes back to Pelluer, and he goes to the 15-yard line. That was a mistake. Had he let the ball drop, it would have been incomplete. By catching the deflection, Pelluer has completed a pass to himself for a negative yards.
Of course, the man rushing on that last play bats the ball back at him. Purely a reaction on the part of the quarterback. I think it was in his hands before he even knew he had it. And, of course, there wasn't much he could do then but run.
And for Pelluer, that's negative yardage on the completed pass. Minus more than 1 yard on that play. The line of scrimmage was the 22, and that's about where they get this one back to. So it'll be 3rd down and about 10 as Robinson again gets the call. Andre Tippett, and someone's doing a good job blocking Tippett thus far.
We have not heard nearly as many calls for Tippett, Bortz, and Dean as we would have expected. Let's give some credit to that fine Husky offensive line. They had their troubles early in the season, but they have gotten them together here so far in this ballgame, Dick.
3rd down the Washington 21. Little reverse. Allen, but nothing there at all.
I wonder if that was one of Don James's dirty dozen, bringing one out of the hat. A little razzle-dazzle, but it backfires. Actually, some alert defense. Some good containment by the Iowa linebackers and corners as they came right up and pinched it off.
2 Jeffs will be involved in this exchange. Partridge to Jeff Brown, who's at the Iowa 43. Remember, again, both teams blocked 5 punts during the course of their seasons.
5 kicks.
5 kicks.
Not all punts.
And they're close to that one.
Ooh, a line driver, too. That'll be a return ball.
31, 36 to the 44-yard line goes Brown. The junior from Fremont, Ohio, has Iowa in excellent field position with 3 minutes and a second left in the half, and Iowa down by 7.
Good. Now cut it in half. Where's that piece on inflation?
It's your broker from Dean Witter.
Today?
Some people just aren't easy to please,
More guts.
especially when it comes to their investments.
Jim, how'd we do?
You look like you just heard from Dean Witter.
At Dean Witter, we can give even the hard-to-please investor something to smile about.
Now run it.
You look like you just heard from Dean Witter.
A time comes when you must watch your money carefully, so quality and value are a necessity. Can you find them in an American car? Absolutely. In Plymouth, built with advanced technology and front-wheel drive for the best gasoline economy of any American car. 5-passenger Horizon Miser, and not a penny more than 81. The American way to get your money's worth.
Get a car, get a check. 300 to 1,000 on other new Chryslers and Plymouths. Participating dealers have full details.
Susan St. James, Bo Bridges, and Loretta Swit learn loving means holding on and letting go. The Kid from Nowhere, a world premiere movie Monday.
Back at the Rose Bowl, where Washington leads Iowa 7-0. 3 minutes left in the half. Home of Larry Cirillo, our producer,
right,
Centerville, Iowa. I wonder how big that town is.
It's got to be a big spot.
And for Larry Cirillo to come from
You
there.
bet.
Injured player on the kick return was Dennis Maher from Stockton, California, sophomore for Washington. Big guy, 253 pounds, and an outstanding student, 3.8 in computer science, being helped off the field.
Well, you'd never like to see a man going off dragging a leg like that, but I guess if you were going to get hurt, this might not be a bad game to choose. At least you've gotten through the entire season and gotten this far.
Ball is at the 44-yard line in Iowa's possession. Hawkeye territory, trailing 7-0. The second quarter has marked several turnovers as they've taken turns giving the ball away. After Robinson had scored early in the second quarter, a 1-yard run on 4th down. Bohannon, little screen out to Brown, then a lateral to Phillips. And he's out of bounds at the 47-yard line, and that'll bring tears to you old-timers. That's a play that 20, 30 years ago, every high school college team had that one.
Another one of Iowa's exotics. A little tower pass. You may have another name for it. Ball thrown to Brown. He just simply pitches it out to Eddie Phillips, and Phillips meanders down that sideline for good yardage. Just shy of the first down.
To the 47 of Washington. Bohannon, not much yardage on his 5 completions, only 29 total yards, and he's been intercepted once and fumbled once. Gonna run it again, and Jerue drags him down at the 41, but it's a first down for the Hawkeyes. Actually, Bohannon rushing has almost as many yards, if not more, than he does passing today.
John Peace, defensive line coach, really upset on the sideline. I think he thought there was some action after the play was over. But you're seeing again the extra dimension that a quarterback can add to an offense when he has running ability. And certainly Bohannon has done a great deal of running today, and he's done it effectively, picking up a big first down on that play.
From the Washington 42, trailing 7-0, 2.5 minutes left. Bohannon stumbling and didn't have a chance to hit Ivory Webb. In fact, it's a good thing that pass was short, because Stapleton, the way it was flopping, was in a position he could have picked that off with nothing but real estate downfield.
One of the questions we'd ask about these tight ends for Iowa, could they block from that stand-up position? Had my eyes on Mike Hufford on that last play, and he just wiped out a couple of people, got right down and went after him.
Well, I'd like to remind our audience that the Honeywell Corporation sometime in the second half will announce the most valuable player for each of these two teams, and a $5,000 scholarship will be awarded the university in their name. Pete Gales is in. He's had one play, one pass, one completed pass. He hands off to Blacher. To the 39. Washington waiting for that one. Number 38, Mark Stewart. You didn't get a chance to say it in our setup for this Rose Bowl game, Roland Olson, but you did say last night you thought that Mark Stewart would have a big game, and he certainly has.
I thought he might be one of those surprise heroes. Such outstanding ability. A man who many felt was as good as any linebacker in the Pac-10. Left off a lot of those honorary teams, but he's getting his licks out there today.
Third down between 7 and 8. Gales over the middle, and he misfires. He had a man open. Looked to be Granger downfield. It was the fullback. He was alone. Stops the clock with 1 minute and 40 seconds left in this first half, and brings up 4th down. And the Hawkeyes apparently are going to go for it. If they fail here, Washington would get the ball pretty good position and enough time for the Huskies to march. That's a big call as Fry rolls the dice here late in the first half. Bohannon to throw. He swings it incomplete, and the Huskies get the ball with 1:35 left. It was Pete Gales throwing, trying to hit the little swing man, but that was well covered even had it been complete.
Gales, a right-handed quarterback, actually looks to have the drop of a left-hander as he swings to that left-hand side to go back.
So Hayden Fry, gambling on the Iowa sidelines, has lost. Let's see if Washington takes advantage.
Running a race fully dressed? Seem ridiculous? Well, in just one active day, most people use as much energy as running 16 miles. So you want the extra strength of a new antiperspirant. Announcing new Ultraban Solid. It works as tough, as long, as hard as you do, with extra strength for protection the leading solid and spray can't beat. Every day's a busy day, so try new Ultraban Solid. It works as tough, as long, as hard as you do. Ultraban, also in a new extra strength roll-on with protection nobody can beat.
You're cutting a ship out of a mountain of steel, and you don't stop until you hear that sound.
Hey, man, it's Miller time. Let's go.
Miller time. Time to head for the best-tasting beer you can find. Miller High Life.
When it's time to relax, one beer stands clear.
Miller High Life, America's quality beer since 1855.
If you got the time, Miller's got the beer.
Here's that 4th down gamble. 4th and 7.
Looking into the eyes of the quarterback, Gales back, wants to flip it out, isolate a back out there. Eddie Phillips, number 18, but a poor pass to Phillips, and I think he'd have been covered even if he caught the football.
Tony Caldwell was right on his pads. First down then for Washington on the exchange at the 40-yard line of the Huskies, and Pelluer with a minute and a half left in this half throws to his tight end Roseborough out of bounds at the 43-yard line with a short gain of 3. Coming up at halftime from the Rose Bowl, and it's always an exciting band show. You'll see both the Husky and Hawkeye bands perform. We'll get an Orange Bowl report. Don Cricky and John Brody down in Miami for Clemson and Nebraska, and highlights. Byron Day will have the top plays of this first half. Probably look at some of the Fiesta Bowl highlights as well. 1:29 left in the half. Skansi in motion. Good blocking for Pelluer down the middle. Open to Skansi, and what a catch! They're going to go without a huddle as this Washington crowd on its feet. Skansi with another acrobatic play. He's been doing it for 3 years up in Seattle at the University of Washington. 19 yards on that play, and with 1:23 and the clock stopped, so that the chain gang can position itself after the first down. Now it's running. Pelluer. Oh, he had a man wide open. Aaron Williams overshot him. Let's go back to Paul Skansi. This one deserves a replay.
I asked Steve Pelluer, I said, if you only had one chance to throw a pass, which receiver would you go to? And he said without question, Paul Skansi. You see why right here. Skansi makes a bad throw, a completion. What an acrobatic and beautiful catch. And imagine how difficult it is to hang on to that football when you finally come down to the ground.
That's a piece of football ballet. Paul Skansi. He's just a junior. Little move to the line apparently because Andre Tippett bowled over the man in front of him.
Well, that's the tight end, Willie Roseborough. Tippett might get the call there because the tight end can move around and adjust. And that's exactly what's going to happen here.
Legal procedure. Oh, no, it goes the other way against Iowa.
Now it's against Iowa because the tight end is allowed to move and shift his position, Dick. Had that been a tackle or a guard, would have gone directly against the Huskies.
Dead ball foul. Illegal procedure. Defense.
But the tight end for Iowa in that last sequence, he moved prematurely and they called that a penalty.
He was crowded up against the ball though early and was moving as the ball was snapped. He was moving forward. Different thing. The ball was not snapped here.
All right, it's 2nd down and 5 for Washington at the 34. Pelluer, they really protected him well. And he hits Skansi to the 19-yard line. 1st down Washington. 1:09 left in the half. 15 more yards. And Pelluer audibilizing his call. And they now start the clock after the chain gang has moved into position from the 19. Leading 7-0. Oh, 74 Picard almost had himself a present there. And Pelluer threw it hard enough that the giant tackle couldn't catch it. Mark Bort, 63, was applying the pressure. And there are the important statistics of this game. 1 minute left in the first half. 7 for Washington, none for Iowa, and the Huskies threatening to get more.
Certainly well inside the field goal range of Chuck Nelson, but they would like 7. They don't want to have to settle for 3 if they can help it. Pelluer doing a fine job on this drive. Very impressive in his performance so far today.
This drive following the gamble at the Washington 40 by Iowa. Pelluer going for 6 to Skansi. Oh, that's going to be penalties. Interference.
Aaron Williams.
I don't think that Williams could have caught the ball anyway, but it was such a blatant hit by the Iowa player. He provoked the yellow flag.
You simply can't knock those receivers around after that ball is in the air. 43, Lou King, the #1 defensive back on this team. But there it is. There's the contact well ahead of the arrival of the football, and the official has to drop that yellow flag.
So it's in the end zone on the 1-yard line. 1st down.
55 seconds. Hayden Fry and the Hawkeyes will be tested now. That iron tough defense. They're going to be challenged with 4 shots for Washington from the 1. Kobe didn't get in. And the clock is running. 49, 48, 47 seconds left in the half. Pelluer can ill afford to take a lot of time in that huddle. 40 seconds. Remember, Washington took 1 timeout in this half after Pelluer on 3rd and 2, deep in his own end, didn't like the call.
Picard and Webb in on that stop, Dick. Oh, over the top.
But Pelluer had the ball, and he didn't get in. And timeout is called by Washington with 22 seconds left in the half. Pat Dean, that 260-pound nose guard, and he plugged up the middle. Timeout called by Washington. 7-0 the score. Let's go to Byron Day in New York.
Dick, what a way to kick off the new year and our New Year's Day coverage of the best in bowl games with the Fiesta Bowl. Kurt Warner got the Nittany Lions on the board first following a Marcus Allen fumble. He rambled 17 yards to put Penn State up 7-0 in the early going. But the SC defense struck back. Todd Blackledge throwing this pass into the hands of Trojan All-American Chip Banks. 21 yards later, the score was tied at 7. But Blackledge, not afraid to put it up, This time the results were more satisfying. Here he connects on a 52-yard touchdown pass to Greg Garrity. Garrity steps into the end zone. Penn State steps out ahead 14-7. In the second half, Penn State came out smoking. This time, Kurt Warner capping an 80-yard drive with a 21-yard sprint to the end zone. Then the Penn State defense got into the act. Here they blocked his punt for a safety. Final score, Penn State 26, USC 10. And Dick and Merlin, Happy New Year.
And the very best to you, Byron Day. Good job. The Fiesta Bowl now history. Big sellout crowd in Tempe, Arizona to see Penn State's Nittany Lions. And what an outstanding coach, Joe Paterno. Undo John Robinson's Trojans 26-10. And we wonder now about the rumors that have John Robinson leaving USC for a possible professional coaching job in New England, or some say maybe even in Chicago. Meanwhile, business in the Rose Bowl. 22 seconds left in the half. The ball is inside the 1-yard line. 3rd and goal. Washington has only one more timeout left. Touchdown! Kobe on the track. Vince Kobe scored only one touchdown all year. And what a big one today.
Vince Kobe, senior captain of this Husky team, makes it pay off for him here. Twice they were stopped. Kobe refused to be stopped. Just lowered his head and piled into that end zone. A very placid look from Coach Don James. Let's see if he gets a little excited at that touchdown. Well,
Bud Grant may have a college compatriot.
He got something going on inside, I can tell you that. He wanted that touchdown. Block.
Pelluer. Now he'll try to pass, and he's got a man. Oh! And what a play defensively by number 92 of the Iowa Hawkeyes, who came in, Bill Bradley, to knock it away when it appeared that misfire on the snap might lead to a 2-point conversion. Chris James was open, number 31.
You see the thorough coaching job that these Huskies do, though. They knew right now what they were going to have to do. Man goes out into the pattern. Pelluer picks it up. He's got it going. Just a great play by the defender, knocking it away right there to keep them from getting that extra point. Bill Bradley, the man who bounced that football away.
Snap a little high. Pelluer couldn't handle it, but watch his quick reaction. James, obviously on the emergency, made his break. Bradley denied the 2-point conversion. We'll see how important that is. It's 13-0 with 19 seconds left in the half.
Those missed opportunities sometimes come back to haunt you, Dick.
We remind you again, Washington about to kick off to the team that led the entire nation in returns. Granger and Buggs are back. We'll see whether Nelson just skips it down short rather than giving Iowa a chance to set up a full return. So after the 4th down gamble in Washington territory, the Huskies go 60 yards and add a touchdown, not the extra point. Nelson hits it high, and Granger won't have a chance to return that one. It'll be at the 20-yard line.
What a great kick, though. Right in the corner of the end zone. Deep kick. Both these kickers have gotten the ball up and into the end zone very well today. Chance to put on your shoulder pads and get ready to receive that kick at home. Ball really going way, way into the air and dropping very close to the sideline. Impossible to return that football.
So from the 20-yard line, Iowa with 19 seconds left will have a chance for a couple of plays, and we'll see what Hayden Fry has called. Gordy Bohannon is the quarterback.
He certainly hasn't been conservative in anything he's done so far. Let's see if he goes for broke here.
Both wide receivers are to the right. Webb in the slot, with Brown, the leading receiver, far right. And again, it's apparently the draw. And a quick timeout.
Quarterback trap, faking to ball carrier going inside, and the quarterback spinning around and going the opposite direction.
13 seconds left.
Very unusual play. Another one of those gimmicks, if you will, that Hayden Fry put in for a running quarterback, Gordy Bohannon.
Iowa, while it was their defense, as Hayden Fry is acclaimed, that earned them the Big Ten co-championship. They allowed Nebraska, UCLA, Michigan, all only 7 points. Purdue scored only 7. Wisconsin and Michigan State put 7 points in the last 3 games. But at times Iowa had trouble generating its own offense. They lost to Minnesota when Minnesota kicked 4 field goals and beat Iowa 12-10. Illinois held Iowa to just a touchdown, and they've been shut out thus far in this first half today.
In the games that Iowa won this year, as you indicated, Dick, they got off to fast starts. And this has been a very slow start for them. You've got to wonder if they can't bounce back. Now, they've also been a very good third quarter team. That's going to have to be their quarter if they're going to get back into this game.
2nd and 6 with just seconds left. Blacher to the 29. The fumble after the ball carrier was down. Mark Jerue made another tackle. 3-2, and that'll be it. The first half of this 68th renewal of the Granddaddy is over. And the Washington Huskies, a mild underdog coming into this game, leave the field with a 13-point lead.